he just hits these notes and chords that just go, ooh. They just like raise my hairs up a little bit.
Yeah, like tickles your spine.
That's so nice. That's so nice. And I just don't hear anyone else compose like him, you know? What's up? Welcome back to the State of the Arc podcast. My name is Mike.
My name's Kason.
This is our ongoing Music of Final Fantasy series.
Episode 13.
Actually,
no, it's like episode 6.
Yeah, because
we did 1 and 3 together.
1 and 3 together, 4, 5, and 6 were together.
And then 8 and 9.
8 and 9 were
together. Yeah. Which is probably the greatest sin we've committed
according
so
to the internet, yeah.
but okay, all right.
Here we are.
Final Fantasy 13.
We're talking about the music of Final Fantasy 13 today. I am very excited about this. I love this soundtrack, personally. Yeah. I think it's incredible. I've always liked it. And it is contentious, a contentious game, just in general. Yeah. I think that adds to whatever vitriol there may be for its soundtrack. It's just the game itself.
Just the memories you have associated with the music.
Exactly.
I believe it was better received in Japan than it was in the West.
Probably, yeah. This is not a Final Fantasy 13 the game review or anything like that, but I do think that at least in large part, like certain choices for voice direction and things like that sort of like added to the problems, as well as some linear game design. We're not talking about that today. We're just talking about music. But I feel like the things that people didn't like about the game, the fact that the music supplemented whatever negative experience you might have had with that, they hear that and they just go straight to those feelings.
Yes.
And that maybe sometimes the music on its own doesn't get as much of a fair shake as it should. I didn't necessarily love Final Fantasy 13. Right. That opinion is neither here nor there. Doesn't matter at all to anyone on the internet. But I've always liked the soundtrack, and I've always loved Hamauzu's style.
I remember the soundtrack was released before the game was released, and in anticipation, or at least some of the songs
of this music,
and in anticipation of the game coming out. I remember you listening to the music over and over and over. And just like, I wonder what happens at this part. I wonder what happens at this part. It was such a really exciting time.
Yeah. I got very, very excited for this game. I followed it very closely. A lot of the music that you're talking about, I had on a disc that I would listen to, and I would imagine like parts of my own story that I'm writing and was writing at the time, listening to music from this game. And I want to talk a lot, first of all, today about Masashi Hamauzu, who was the composer for Final Fantasy 13. He worked with Nobuo Uematsu on the Final Fantasy X soundtrack. He did a lot of tracks on that game. Yeah. And we've already kind of delved into some of his stylistic differences. Yeah. So I don't think we need to necessarily hit home more on that part of it. But there are some very specific techniques he uses to create his chords and his textures.
Oh, interesting.
That I think I can explain a little bit. I do want to sort of precurse that by saying there is a wonderful video that has been made on sort of like the deeper, like really technical music theory behind that on 8-Bit Music Theory's channel.
Okay.
So if you go to 8-Bit Music and just search 8-Bit Music Final Fantasy 13, he recently did a video and it was outstanding, absolutely outstanding. All of his videos are outstanding. I think he's a great channel. In great part because as much as music means to me, I've always been kind of a do-it-by-ear kind of person.
Oh, right. Like you're not a sheet music reader.
I'm not. I can read sheet music. My mother did teach me.
I can if I do F-A-C-E, D-F-A-C-E-G.
That's exactly it.
But I can't like fluently just like play piano,
Just by looking at the sheet music.
Yeah.
Like I have learned to play on the piano certain songs I wanted to play by reading the sheet music, but it would take me a really long time to learn it, and sometimes it would just be faster to hear the note and just find it and
pick
just
it
play it that way.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way.
So I never took the time, and this is something that maybe someday I will remedy. There's always a part that eats at me. It's like, learn music theory, like legitimately learn it. But it is a very technical field, and there's a lot of terminology, and it can be very intimidating. Yeah. Particularly if you're not like really if you've not been introduced to a lot of that at all. My mother introduced me to a lot of it at a young age. So I know some, and I know how to read sheet music very, very slowly for the most part.
Yeah.
But his channel is great because he breaks that down in a way that's really entertaining and where you can really see like what these composers were doing and why, and like why using a sus chord here, which is what we'll talk about, creates a totally different feel to what would be a sort of a regular major triad, a triad being three notes played together in a chord. It gives you an appreciation for the deeper thinking and the musical knowledge of the composer. They're thinking on a level much deeper than a lot of people even realize in making these little choices and how different it can make something feel. And Hamauzu and Sakimoto, who we talked about last time for Final Fantasy XII, I don't think it would be wrong or even a contentious thing to say that they know music theory a lot better than Nobuo Uematsu does. And that their writing is far more rich and complex in that sort of deeper understanding of music theory.
Right.
That does not mean that they're better composers than Nobuo Uematsu or vice versa.
Yeah.
What it means is that they can do things that he has admitted himself, I can't do that. That's why I chose Hamauzu to compose with me on Final Fantasy IX. He said that directly.
Yeah.
So he is self-taught, kind of the way that maybe we are. Obviously way more advanced because he made it his career and he lived and breathed it every day.
Yeah.
But he was self-taught and he listened to a lot of pop music and rock music to sort of like learn by listening. And these guys are musically trained, these other composers, and their music is far more complex in a lot of ways. And I think that that creates a richness in this soundtrack in particular that I really appreciate. But yeah, it's not as melodically focused a lot of times, right?
And often it is quite chaotic with the meandery piano kind of doing a little bit of free form, freestyle almost, just like
jazzy,
a jazzy kind of thing with either the piano or the violin or both, or just all the music in general. There's constantly these arpeggios and trills coming in that just add a really interesting flavor to the music that you don't hear very often, especially in music like this. Well, actually, I don't even know what I mean when I say that because this soundtrack is all over the place. One of my favorite songs is called Afro Blues. And like, that came out of nowhere, right? Like all of the music, there's guitar and then there's like the typical, symphony, and then there's the minimal orchestra, and then he's got this techno kind of beats going on, and then there's some rock music. He's kind of really like showing his versatility as a musician, being like, I can write for any genre of music. The only thing it doesn't do is country, as far as I can tell, but it's basically all in there. So I don't even know what I mean when I say you don't hear music like this very often. Like this is just a mix of all different types of music, and I had to listen to this whole soundtrack 2 times because I didn't understand it the first time. I didn't get it. I will say I didn't really even like it that much the first time. And I had my eyebrows up for at least half of the soundtrack. And there were hits and whatnot. Like there were some songs I was like, oh, that's really cool. I got to remember that one. But it wasn't until I got to the last maybe 7 or 8 songs on the whole OST that I actually deeply fell in love with the music, and I started to recognize all the resonance, all the the reminiscences and the motifs and all of that's the theme, that's the main theme. Okay, this is Lightning's theme. Okay, they're it's not just random. It's like they're actually, these are thematics, and I'm starting to get it now. And the music at the end of this soundtrack, the last like 7 tracks,
really good.
Are shockingly beautiful, so stunning. In fact, that when I went back after having heard that and being I was emotionally moved on the ending credits
it's
song,
so great.
which it will happen often for these ending credit songs, but more so for this game than even the ones we've listened to previously. I like, something just hit me and I was just like, whoa, this is like really moving. Like this is really good. And then when I went back and listened to the soundtrack again, I really liked it a lot. It just took me a little bit to get used to what Hamauzu wanted me to do. And without having played the game before, I was just a little confused. And now having gotten the full gambit of I feel like I just experienced like a whole, I don't know, like an opera or something, like the whole concert until the very end, and then going back in to re-experience it and recognizing things and understanding his style. oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's incredibly good. And it's just not something I was able to jump into immediately.
Yeah.
I had some apprehensions about it. But this is an incredibly talented musician. And I love the soundtrack a lot now.
Yeah.
But it took me 2 listens.
It's, I think that that can be true about a lot of elements of Final Fantasy XIII. This is a game that we not even likely, we will
We're
cover
definitely going
this
to cover it at some point.
in the future. I have played it now, I think, 4 different times. And many, many years ago, I was preparing to do like a long form retrospective on the game. And I did 7 episodes of discussion before that. I had people send in their thoughts. I had a guy who wrote like a 115-page document that broke down like all of these reasons he thinks people misunderstand the game. And there was a lot of things I learned from that. And so regardless of whatever my personal opinion is, again, it's not important at all. There's a lot to this game that I think is dismissed because of certain elements that just like don't click with people right away.
No.
And it's like, man, I'm just like really not enjoying this, give up, game sucks or whatever. But when you look at it like a lot more closely, I think that there are a lot of really, really cool and interesting things that they did with this game.
Well, it's probably the best looking game on the PS3.
It might be one of the best looking games of the HD era all the way till today.
It's incredible
in terms
what they
of
were able
art
to do.
direction. It still just looks amazing.
Yeah, it's stunning.
So anyway, I'm not going to get into all of that like too much. We'll stick to the music here. But I think what you're feeling on that, where it took you a little while to gel with it. There's a lot of other elements of the game that I think are kind of the same way. Now, Masashi Hamauzu was the sole composer on Final Fantasy XIII.
So he had no help?
He had no help from anybody.
Wow, that's interesting.
The only one who did anything. Nobuo Uematsu was originally going to contribute a main theme, kind of like he did for Final Fantasy
Another
XII.
Lyric song.
Yeah, like a ballad or whatever. To
Another
play
Celine Dion. Which there are.
Yeah.
Those songs are in this game.
Yes.
But I guess Hamauzu did that all himself, huh?
Well, except for one.
Well, he wasn't the singer, but...
So the game's main theme, which is called, let me have it here somewhere, because it's in Japanese, Kimi ga iru kara.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's kind of like the main theme that plays in like the credits of the Japanese version, but they changed that in the English version. They didn't write this song. This was a what do you call it? A licensed song.
Oh, really?
From a British singer named Leanna Lewis. And the song is called My Hands. And this is just...
Kimi ga iru kara means because you are here, or because you are.
It's a totally different song.
Oh, okay.
It's from her own album.
Oh,
right? They
interesting.
just went and licensed her song and stuck it in there in the English version.
Oh, I see. So the
right.
Japanese wrote their own song. The English version, it's just, oh, wow.
So
that's interesting.
Basically, behind the scenes, what was the name of the Japanese singer? Let me get this right first.
I don't know.
Her name was Sayuri Sugawara, I think. So she's a Japanese singer. And they were originally going to have her sing those same songs, but in English.
Okay.
But her pronunciation wasn't great, and it seems that they were trying to coach her on that, and they just really weren't getting there. And so for one of the songs in the game, they have just like a made-up, invented kind of language because in English, like it just wasn't working out. And so then when they passed it on to localization, the other songs that were sung in English by her, they were like, we need to get another singer to re-record here. Like I don't think people are going to like understand what she's saying. There were some concerns about that. And then they just licensed this song, My Hands, from Leanna Lewis, and it's not the same song at all that was written as the actual theme in the ending credits for, by the composer of the game.
Okay, wow.
So I have some kind of mixed feelings on that. We're not going to listen to My Hands today because we'll get an immediate copyright strike anyways.
Okay.
Most of the time on game music, particularly from newer soundtracks, like more recent games, you'll get like a content sharing kind of thing, like, oh, you can't make money on this. I'm fine with that. But I don't want a copyright strike on the video.
Right.
So we're not going to be listening to My Hands, but I'm just throwing this out there at the beginning. I'd rather not anyways, because the Japanese side of Square Enix I wrote it down here. Square Enix president, actually, Yuichi Wada, has stated, who was president at the time, he's not now, stated that it would have been better if the American branch of the company had produced a theme song from scratch rather than going out and licensing, someone else's song. So they were maybe not totally happy with that, with that decision to just go license a song. And it was the first time that had ever been done in the history of Final Fantasy music, where they didn't have original music for every track in the game.
Well, I have a question then about the other vocalized, because there's several songs that have lyrics throughout this soundtrack. Like Sarah's theme would be an example. Right. Is that was a Japanese one where they just got an American singer?
Yes.
Or okay.
So if it's just sang in English, if it is sung in English, I should say, that was re-recorded with an English-speaking singer.
Okay.
They did not like her trying to sing in English.
So as it relates to that, I really liked the Japanese singer. I preferred the Japanese singer when there was an equivalence there. I did notice that at the end they were different, and I was like, "This is very, very interesting." I like the Japanese one.
Oh, the Japanese song is great, and so we're going to listen to that, and we're going to treat that as the theme of the game.
That's canon,
not
right?
My hands.
Yeah. Perfect.
So anyway, but yeah, Uematsu was originally going to write a ballad or that kind of song for the theme of the game, but he ended up being contracted because he's out from Square at this point.
Yeah, he's been gone for a while.
So his studio was contracted to work on Final Fantasy XIV 1.0, the original Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, that's right. He did like all the music for that, right?
Basically all the music for the original Final Fantasy XIV. And so just so you guys know, when we get to Final Fantasy XIV next, it's going to be 2 episodes, one with 1.0 and one with the Realm Reborn and its expansions after that, because they're very different. Soken, the composer for A Realm Reborn and a lot of the music that comes in the expansions after that, very different stylistically from Uematsu. But anyway, so Uematsu ended up not contributing any music at all to Final Fantasy XIII, and this was the first time in the series history where that was true. Yeah. At least on Final Fantasy XII, though he did nothing else. He did one song, and on Final Fantasy XI, he contributed several. Yeah. But this is the first time he was not involved whatsoever. Now, as for I would call it a pretty heavy departure stylistically from the music of Final Fantasy. Well, I would say 12 was as well, but this is a departure in a different way.
Yes, exactly.
It's been stated by the game's director, Motomo Toriyama, that was a real purposeful choice, just for the whole game in general. They were really not trying in any way, shape, or form to adhere to the traditions of the Final Fantasy series in any of their game design, in any of their battle direction, in any of their story writing, all of it.
Can I say that it shows?
Yes. Okay. And I don't even think
I'm not even saying that's a
bad thing, right?
It just, you can tell.
You can tell. I mean, this is just objectively the case.
And the best place to illustrate that is the prelude.
Yeah.
Which is lacking the prelude.
It's a totally different
prelude. It is a prelude-less prelude.
But this was an interview from One Up Here where the interviewer asks, Final Fantasy XIII has been described by its design team as a conscious departure from the standard RPG format. For instance, the story is strictly divided into chapters, and early in the game there is less emphasis on free exploration. Did these changes to the genre encourage departures from the Final Fantasy series musical traditions as well? And Hamauzu says the music was not intended to break from the series past, but to offer a reflection of Final Fantasy XIII's environment. So what he's saying is, I didn't write it with the intention to break the music tradition of the series. I wrote it to support the game they're making. But
which is maybe the same way of saying the same thing, or a different way of saying the same thing.
At the same time, it was Toriyama-san's intention to create a new chapter for Final Fantasy. And so it was never an obligation that I closely follow what had come before.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's what Fabula Nova Crystallis means in Latin. It means the new tale of the crystal.
Yes.
And so it's like you have all the tales of the crystal, but this is a new one. Like we're redoing everything kind of.
They were completely given the go-ahead to break from all conventions of the past in Final Fantasy and do some entirely new stuff.
Yeah.
So the Fabula Nova Crystallis kind of trilogy, as it was originally intended, was for Agito 13, Versus 13, and Final Fantasy 13.
Right.
Agito 13 became Type 0 and went a very different direction, I think, from its original origins. That one was directed by Hajime Tabata, who then went on to take over Versus from Tetsuya Nomura.
That's right.
And make it into what became Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
So those two games were originally meant to be part of the same mythos and the same universe as Final Fantasy 13. And Final Fantasy 13 was going to be the flagship of those three titles. But all those plans ended up changing. The development history was a total mess for all kinds of reasons we're not getting into today. But they announced the game in 2006 and didn't even have a story for the game, So it took a really long time to develop, and he had to write music, a lot of the music, before they even knew like the full story, before it was even really completed necessarily. So it's a tough job. It was a very, very ambitious sort of direction, and they had a lot of ideas that were really, really cool ideas that didn't necessarily end up getting into the final products. The 13 trilogy ended up becoming a thing instead of like these disparate sort of like projects that were all kind of related by the same mythos. Final Fantasy 13 itself ended up getting a trilogy, so a lot of things changed. But yeah, I'll just read my note here. The theme song for the international version of the game, meaning the English and in other countries outside of Japan, is My Hands from British singer Leona Lewis' second album called Echo. It was chosen to replace Final Fantasy 13's original theme song from the Japanese version, Kimi ga Iru Kara.
That is such an interesting choice.
Yeah.
I can't get over that.
It's crazy. So anyway, I think that's probably good enough unless you had some other notes about like the development of the music itself. So I brought up 8-Bit Music Theory's video on this, right?
Yeah.
And he explains this far better than I ever can. But I think I can at least demonstrate a little bit the idea.
Okay.
So I brought my guitar.
Ooh, very nice.
And we're going to talk about...
You mean one of your guitars.
One of them. We're going to talk a little bit about something that Hamauzu does stylistically that I really, really like.
Yeah.
And it is something that I don't know if it's like in hearing that music, it's sort of carried over into the way that like when I'm kind of, riffing or playing around, I end up doing like as an intentional thing. Because I didn't really understand the concept here until I watched his video on it. But I was like, oh, I do that all the time when I'm just like messing around with chords.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. So what he calls it is that Hamauzu likes to do something called a sus/chord, sus/chord. And sus, as you talked about, meaning suspended. Yeah. The idea behind this is that you would take maybe a traditional triad with a chord made of 3 notes.
Yeah, like a major first, third, fifth.
And you have what's called your root note, and then your second and your third. The root note is generally the lower of the 3 notes, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of your root. It's like the bottom end of that chord. And what you would do is take maybe a C, like a major, C major chord or something like that, and you would just slide either the second or the third up by 1 step, or both, either way. So that would sound something like this. Get a C chord going here, right? Now if I play the whole string, not just the triad, right? You get that kind of like major sound. Yeah. And we just slide this one up here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And you see how you get a totally different texture and feel out of that, right? Yeah. Or let's do it with this one instead. Very different feel. And you could do it with both. And that one sounds very Hamauzu to me. Yeah. That kind of airy, open, rich flavor to a C chord by just moving those 2, that second and that third, up by 1 step.
Feels like homey almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus the original C.
Yeah.
And we move those up. You still have the same root.
Yeah.
But it gives it a very interesting feel to it. That doesn't feel quite as resolved as this.
Yeah.
It's like it opens up a question.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a phrase. It's a question.
And it's very
That's waiting to be
airy,
resolved.
but very beautiful at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Huh.
And you can do that with any chord. Let's go to an A. Just add that one step up there. You just get a very different feel out of that, right?
Yeah.
So that's what he means by a sus chord. And Hamauzu does this, I mean, just constantly in his music.
Really?
He's creating chords that use those, let's just move that one up just like a little bit, just that one note, get that out of place a little bit. Ooh, that's an interesting texture. A slash chord is where your bass, right, your bass instrument is not the same as your root in the chord.
Okay.
So in that C, right, my root right there, a lot of times in music, the bass will just play the root notes of the chord.
Yeah.
So it would just be that note, but an octave down on a bass instrument.
Right.
But it's rooting everything in that low root note. Now, a slash chord will take that bass and put it on a note that does not appear in that chord.
But not a dissonant one, right?
No.
Like maybe a G.
Well, it could be,
or
but
okay.
let's say I don't have a bass guitar here for this, but that's my root note. Let's just say I go down there. Right? I've now added that
An E.
different kind of bass note on top of that. So now if I move that chord up to here and we get all that together, doesn't that sound so interesting and cool?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
It's really interesting, and it's a flavor. It's something they do a lot in modern music and in modern composing, but he was doing this, 15, 16 years ago. Yeah. So you see it a lot more in like recent stuff, but he was doing it a while back, and it's a signature style of how he composes music. And so when we're listening to this music and you're hearing the chords, particularly like hanging there in the background on pads and strings, it sounds so wide and so big and so airy and angelic and ethereal and mysterious, but not in a way that is like necessarily dangerous or like, oh no, like scary, eerie, but like a floaty, positive vibe to it. So it's taking these major chords, these major triads, but giving them that this note's flat or whatever in there, and it creates these really rich textures that I really, really like. So go watch 8-Bit Music Theory's video on that because it's fantastic, and you'll learn a lot about music theory from his channel, which is something that I do occasionally and have been wanting to do more of. But as we're listening to the music, I'm going to be pointing a lot of that kind of thing out.
Okay, very cool.
So let's get to our first track here, which I believe is just going to be the prelude to Final Fantasy XIII.
Let's listen to the prelude to a Final Fantasy game.
Right, and it's and again, breaking away from the traditions, the traditional prelude and the traditional Final Fantasy theme, which we've talked about so many times throughout this this little series we're doing, and how much we love
all the different
that.
ways that here's their take on the prelude.
None of that appears in this game.
Yeah,
at all.
The only song that I heard that sounded vaguely Final Fantasy-ish was the Chocobo theme. There is still a Chocobo theme. But other than that, I didn't really identify anything else.
So here's the prelude to Final Fantasy XIII. Also,
very ambient.
Here's another thing that's pretty signature of Hamauzu's style. He builds up really softly.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And a lot of his music, it's very...
Yeah, some of his music takes like a full minute to really
develop.
get going, yeah.
And then when it develops, it's big.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But it takes a little bit. And there's again, a very interesting kind of like mixture here of some orchestral instruments and then just some... I don't even know what that is.
I don't want to say techno, but some electronic...
There's a lot of electronic mixtures into this soundtrack that just make it sound very interesting. But this is basically playing in what in film would be called like the credits, the opening credits.
The opening
sequence,
credits, yeah.
where
yeah.
you're seeing just like shots at different points,
Yeah.
and it's just showing the names of the director, composer, writer, developers.
And it just kind of gets you in the mood.
Yeah.
And I would say this, as the prelude, while it does not feel like a Final Fantasy game at all, it is getting you into the mood for what this game is, right?
Yeah.
Which is going to be quite different.
Yeah. But I mean, you can
It's definitely
already
prelude-y.
you can already hear it. I mean, Hamozu does use some really strong themes, like melodies, in the game.
Some, yeah.
Very hummable, memorable melodies. But there's just, it's just so wide
This part here.
and so beautiful.
Love this.
Like when I hear this, it makes me kind of want to play the game.
Yeah,
again.
me too.
Even
Me
though
too.
I already know, I've played the game 4 times. I know what I feel about the game.
I've never beaten. Oh, you've beaten it 4 times.
I've
How
beaten the
about
game
that?
4 times.
Oh, very nice.
I
I've
know
still
what
never
I
beaten.
feel
I've played
about
it a
this
little
game,
bit.
and like, there's not really much playing the game again that will like necessarily alter. But
Yeah,
I
your
love
experience.
the music, and
This is cool.
a lot of this music was in the promotional material, and it was part of what made me so excited for
Yeah.
it, was that I was just like, man, this music's amazing. Like, this is going to be great. So, yeah, I really, really love that piece, even though it has nothing to do with the traditional Final Fantasy prelude.
No, not at all. But it was very cool. It was very
Now, the promise is what plays on the title screen of the game. So before you press start.
cool. Now, this one
and
has
This is a
some
piano.
lyrics as well.
Like a solo piano. I think there's actually an orchestra that comes into it a little bit.
Yeah,
But
for this
this
one.
is another thing that I put a note down on. I love his like solo piano stuff.
Oh, me too.
I think
It's very cool.
Hamauzu's piano compositions are really rich, and again, just really gorgeous in their phrasings and in the way his use of melody.
They're also would probably be very difficult to learn how to play.
Yeah.
Right. Like I learned back in the day, I learned Tifa's theme and Aerith's theme, and
Yeah.
I could play some themes on the piano collections, notation, which I was pretty proud of. I'm like, these are pretty difficult songs.
Yeah, right.
The pianist, the piano for FF13 is just a whole different level.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of even some of like the freeform stuff that I mentioned before, like. This is very difficult stuff to just
Yeah.
kind of sit down and decide one day without classical training, I'm going to play this song,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Now, this song may not be the best example of that.
But there are other
But-
pieces
yeah.
in the soundtrack
Yeah,
that are
absolutely.
that way. Like, just listen to the richness of some of these chords. Like, and if you're wondering, like,
I love
how
this
does
too.
how does he get that sound? It's the use of susses.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Everywhere. It's like his favorite thing to do.
You know what's funny? When you're playing just the C chord, just showing an example of the suspended, I'm thinking, wow, something that I think I mentioned that feels homey in a way. That feels almost like it could easily turn into town music of
Sure.
sorts. But throughout this entire soundtrack, I did not hear one single town song.
Yeah.
like music
Well, okay.
I would associate with comfortable town songs.
Just so you
right?
know, there is no town in the game.
Okay, how about that? There you go.
You don't go to towns in this game.
I've only really
Another-
played like the first couple hours.
Yeah, another breakaway from
Yeah.
traditional Final Fantasy. The characters in the game are kind of on the run. They're fugitives. So they're not just going to like run into towns where they might
Where
be
everyone's eager
recognized
to
and
tell them
arrested.
all about the princess.
So they're pretty much they don't go into towns in this game. So
Well,
that's probably why you didn't hear much
very,
town music,
very
which we've
interesting.
already established is like your favorite kind
It
of
is
music.
my favorite kind of music, and it's also I was just sad about it. But once I dropped the expectation of town music,
Yeah.
that's when I started to appreciate the soundtrack a lot more.
Right. The next one I put down was Defiers of Fate. Did you have another one? for that?
Go ahead and do that one. I don't have.
So this is
Number
just kind
3 I
of
didn't
in
do.
the intro of the game. It's a really exciting piece. So the game starts out on like I don't know what to call it. It's like a rescue.
Oh, that's
Lightning
right,
is
yeah.
like breaking into this
Like a train
Yeah.
that's going through the coolest landscape you've
Yeah.
ever seen. Yeah, yeah.
It's like, well, the two-world concept of Final Fantasy 13 is maybe something to discuss another time, not to
Okay.
talk about spoilers, but she's breaking into this train to try to save her sister, who is being transported somewhere. And there are a bunch of other people also being transported
Yeah.
to the same place for the same reason, and she happens to help some of them, and so they want to kind of stick close to her because she seems
Yeah.
tough and she's a soldier, very Cloud Strife-like in a lot of ways.
Right.
like the female Cloud Strife was essentially kind of the thought behind her. But it's just a very exciting opening sequence. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a whole like rebellion kind of happening, and there's a lot of fighting going on there. And she's breaking into this train and fighting these guys. And the FMV sequences, right? Like just the movie scenes
mind-blowing.
Were absolutely incredible for the time. And so this music is just kind of playing through that sequence. And I just think it's really exciting.
And it's mixing in some of the battle music here now.
I was about to say, a lot of the themes that you're going to hear throughout the game are worked into, things like this. So I really like that one a lot.
Saber's Edge is the very next track.
Yep,
is one
I have
that
that one too. Another similar feel because it's in the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
they're kind of the same, fights and I guess skirmishes kind of going on around what's happening. And you're moving between different characters. You're moving between like Saz and Lightning over here, and then you've got Hope and Snow over here, and you've got Vanille over here.
Yeah.
They're all in the same place, but they have different perspectives on what's going on.
This is a better example of the piano.
Yeah, the piano's going crazy.
I could never just learn
listen
this
to that.
song.
Listen to that. We're going to turn it up. Listen to what the piano's doing in the background. It's so complex. Right here.
and frankly, it confused me, and it still kind of does. But it's his style. It's how he does it. I was just like, why do you need to include this in this soundtrack initially?
It's very jazzy.
It is very jazzy.
It's very jazzy in this otherwise orchestral kind of composition.
Yeah.
I like it.
And this kind of stuff. This is really cool.
Yeah, this is great. Very melodic, very big, very exciting. The Hanging Edge was my next one. And the reason I picked this was to specifically point out something Hamauzu does a lot of, which is this very bright,
this is reminds me of Final Fantasy X.
Sprightly piano.
Yeah, yes. This is Final Fantasy X.
If you listen to the splendid performance in Final Fantasy X, very similar.
There you go.
Right?
It's just in a different key. Like it's the same thing.
But he likes to do this a lot. And he's using that as like a root almost, or like a rhythm.
Yeah.
As he has these big pads and airy kind of stuff going on, and more atmospheric kind of feel. And he builds on it, and it just keeps getting bigger. But that goes through the whole thing. He does that a lot. You'll hear that in The Alliance Alive and other soundtracks he's done that I like a lot. I like The Alliance Alive quite a lot as a game, just in general. But he did the music for that, and you'll hear this kind of stuff all over that too. So I wanted to point that out as a signature style you can hear in both soundtracks. Let's see. Is this... no, this is not the one I chose. I chose the Warpath next.
This one's very interesting.
I like this one a lot. And again, it takes a while to build.
It does.
So it starts off
It's very percussive. Yeah.
Kind of like rhythm going on in the background. With just kind of that low bass.
And it's like a marching snare, kind of. I like that.
But it's like a soft.
Yeah.
It's like he's using brushes almost or something.
Yes. Yeah. Although,
And then you get your brass, that strong brass coming in.
With the cymbal. It's like a French horn. Yeah, that's very cool.
Really, really nice. And it just continues building and building and building over the course of the song. And so a lot of times you don't get to like the coolest crescendos until 2/3 of the way.
2 minutes in,
And it's, that last minute will be like what it really builds up to. But
I feel like maybe that's even a metaphor for the whole soundtrack, at least the way that I see it, is that, and that's why it took me to the end of the soundtrack, to the crescendo of the soundtrack being, the end of the whole thing, for me to then go back and really understand what I just heard. It's very slow developing.
Yeah, slow developing is a good way to put it.
The whole soundtrack is slow developing.
I really like this part a lot, though. Very militaristic. Again, they're kind of fighting against the government, the military, the police, whatever you want to call them during this part. So, okay, the next one I put down was Ragnarok. This one is a great example of, this is not the one I wanted to click on, of his big chords. that we've been talking about. His signature chord style. Again, takes a while to build up. And I think there's some chorus in this too. Yeah.
Ah, very nice.
This is used quite a lot. I believe they recorded with, what is it? It's like the Warsaw something or other orchestra. I mean, let me make sure I get this right while we listen to this build-up. It sounds wrong to me when I say it now, but hold on. Fantasy 13 music. We'll just let this hang as I pull it up here.
I like it.
Music for the game played a live orchestra. Oh, no, that's not it. What is the name of the orchestra that recorded here? Creation and influence. I didn't bring this up, but Hamauzu worked on Dirge of Cerberus as well.
Oh, really? Very cool.
And he was kind of told, we want that style for Final Fantasy 13 as well.
Oh, interesting.
So they liked his work on that. Like, those chords are so...
This is very cool.
Rich and interesting, and just like not what you typically expect as far as like landing and resolving certain phrases. It just kind of leaves it all open, and you're like not sure where we're going next.
Yeah.
And that's the use of those sus and slash chords. Yeah, the Warsaw Philharmonic Orchestra.
Oh, how about that?
Is
cool.
where they recorded a lot of this.
I also want to know like where they recorded this. Like this isn't interesting. The sound, the atmosphere, the environment seems to be not just like a normal stage, right?
Right. Like how they got that particular reverb.
Yeah, it almost feels like they're in an old church or something.
Yeah, it does sound.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that.
But those chords are just like crazy. Some of it sounds a little dissonant, but also not, because it's just a couple notes in that chord that are just
dissonant.
Slid just one step up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like the root and maybe the top end of the chord still work, but like somewhere in between there, it's just like whoa.
Yeah.
It's not flat. Yeah. It's harmonizing.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
But it's really cool.
It almost feels dissonant, but it's not.
It's so cool, and I think that's my favorite thing about Hamauzu's style is his chords are just so killer. It's just like I might not have ever even heard that chord before. Yeah. it's awesome. I freaking love it.
That's really cool.
So that was Ragnarok. I have.
When do we get
Promised Eternity next? Do you have that?
I'll go ahead and do that one. I do not, but
this is another piano piece. Like solo piano piece that I really like. He just hits these notes and chords that just go, ooh. They just like raise my hairs up a little bit.
Yeah, like tickles your spine.
Nice. That's so nice. And I just don't hear anyone else compose like him, you know? It's like he kind of uniquely hits those particular notes in that particular order. And it just like, it hits something for me. And like I said, a lot of the time, I didn't even associate this with Final Fantasy 13 necessarily. Yeah. I was listening to a lot of this music before the game came out. And so I was thinking through scenarios for my own story that I was writing, and I was using these songs as supplement to that. And that's where I came up with some of, not all of, but some of, like the biggest, most important scenes to my novel. Where like the
I
emotions.
Heard that chord there.
Yeah, wasn't that cool?
Let's
go back to that.
Very cool.
Let's turn it up.
That was it right there.
Okay, hold on. We got to go back a little further. Listen. Right there.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. But it created a sort of emotion or feeling that just like kind of vibed with where I was wanting to go with the story that I was writing. Oh, I love that. When the strings come in. I love music like this generally.
Yeah, me too.
The slow strings and piano that sounds kind of sad.
Yeah.
This really vibes with me.
Yeah, the sad beauty.
And he does that really well.
Yeah.
Really well.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's one of the things I did notice even on my first listen. Like this has that.
Oh, the way those strings just come soaring in there. Love that. Hear that again. Right? Here they come.
Yeah.
The composer, I'm forgetting his name. Oh my gosh, how am I forgetting? He's so freaking famous. For all the Miyazaki movies.
Hisaishi. Joe Hisaishi.
Yeah, Joe Hisaishi does that a lot.
Yeah.
With that sort of like rise of the high string.
Yeah, and almost like in moments, unexpected moments. You just kind of feel it, and it's like a gust of wind that just blew the flower petals in the field.
100%,
like the FF8
That's
kind
exactly
of,
what
it's
it feels
just
like.
Boom, and you feel it, and then they turn into white feathers, and you're like, what's going on? Yeah, it's really, really cool.
So, Hummos is different in style from, what was his name? You just said it.
Joe Hisaishi.
Joe Hisaishi.
Yeah.
But there's like little pieces here and there where it's like, that's a little Joe Hisaishi. Like I could hear that maybe.
Well, Hisaishi loves the piano like this as well.
Oh, he does tons of
raw
piano collections. Yeah.
And great. Especially in the newest, what was it? The Boy in the Crane? Not the Crane, but the...
Oh, yeah. I think it was Boy in the Crane.
Is it the Crane?
I think so.
Really, really cool. Just like solo piano in an empty orchestra hall kind of feel. Like really cool stuff.
So good.
Okay, I have like Sarah's Theme and Blinded by the Light are probably the next ones.
I have a couple ones before
but Lake Breccia, hold on, the Lake one.
Lake Brescia.
Number 17, Lake Brescia,
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
have that one too.
Okay, dude, this song really got me.
This is another example of his use of those really rich chords though. Like, all that stuff sitting behind.
Yeah. It's like Christmas morning.
It's a little bit like that. Yeah, it feels like a holiday theme almost.
Yeah, it does, but only in like the nostalgia, not in any other way. It's just like, I feel like it's Christmas morning, but it's sunny outside and it's summertime, you know? It's not snowy and wintry. It's just...
It's so
and he
complex.
just keeps that string
It's so complex.
Yeah.
With the violins doing there or whatever that instrument, maybe it's viola. Yeah, that's probably a viola.
And then the wood blocks kind of in the background.
And it's the way it's just moving from place to place. And
I know his music. That's a good way to put it. His music just moves from place to place, all throughout the soundtrack.
Yeah.
He is just so good at taking whatever he's doing and just like, I'm gonna turn it into something completely different, like almost a totally different genre.
Yeah.
And he just can do it. He can blend it so that it fits and it feels nice. Yeah, that was really cool.
This is a sentiment that came up last week in the comments.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to like contend against people, but people who prefer like the strong focus on melody that Uematsu brought.
A hummable melody, yeah.
And how important that is in their JRPGs. But I want to say, in agreeing that I love that music too, that I really think
every song should be Fisherman's Rising.
Because there's this sentiment, I feel like, for like lovers of Japanese media and Japanese games, it's like, don't westernize my Japanese stuff. I want it to stay Japanese. Don't sound like Hollywood. I don't want a Hollywood Western sound in my Japanese stuff.
I can sympathize with that to a degree.
I do too.
Yeah.
Like I get where you're coming from with that.
But you're also not watching traditional kabuki theater, are you? Like you do what the Japaneseness that you appreciate is already one that has been melded with the West already since, the 40s or since the 1870s or whatever. And like now you're saying, okay, just stop doing it. You've got enough West, now stop being Western now. But there's something kind of strange about doing that, I think, as well.
But there's something about the composing styles of the more modern media that has elements of film composing.
Yeah.
That I think are so important for storytelling. It's not just a loopable melody that just plays over and over and over again. This is moving from this beat of storytelling to this one, to this one, to this one. The music is telling the story with the visuals and as you are moving from place to place, rather than just looping a melody. Looping a melody, and that just falls over this entire area that you're in. Yeah. It's just all of it is associated with this one set of notes.
Which kind of is how the old games used to be. Yeah.
They were that way because of the constraints of how they had to be written at the time. And as that has changed and progressed, the composers were changing with it. And you can prefer one or the other, but I think it's silly to think that music composed this way is not good for the genre, or it's not good for particular stories or whatever it might be, whatever project, it could use this style more so than that one. And I think that these Final Fantasy composers that aren't like Uematsu are incredible composers. Yeah. I love Sakimoto. I love Hamauzu. And I think there's a correct, I don't want to say correct, but maybe like a valid sentiment to be like, but it doesn't feel like Uematsu.
Right, it feels like Bach.
Uematsu created the feel of Final Fantasy, the spirit of it.
Yeah, by being insanely Western influenced is how Elton John, like what music did he listen to? What music did Uematsu listen to? Anyways, I'm just saying, there's something a little bit contradictory about the claim that Uematsu was pure Japanese without, the Bach and Beethoven.
Oh, that's so fun. Anyway.
But I love that you brought it up that point with that music playing in the background. Yeah. Because that was so unmistakably and undeniably just beautiful and wonderful and great music.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
But at the same time, I respect the old stuff too.
So that was like Brescia we just did, right?
Yeah.
I think the one that comes after that, I won't play this whole thing, is the Pulse Falsi. And it's just an example of the same kind of thing. It's just giving you more of those crazy rich chords. Like, what chord is that?
That's pretty cool. I don't know. It was a full chord. It just feels very full.
Goodness.
You're right. There's the slash that you're talking about with the bass not matching.
Yeah, not matching the root.
That's
the
very
bass
interesting.
does not match the root note of that chord. And it's just like, whoa, like there's so much texture, and then that low kick coming in.
Yeah.
It's
almost like you hear it and you're like, was that a mistake? And then as the song builds, and then he just starts hammering it home with this like bass beat and the swells, and it's like, no, this is intentional, and it's really good.
It's really cool. And it's so signature to him. He writes this way. Okay, and there's some really interesting.
Turns into an X-Files kind of.
This is all over the Alliance Live too, by the way.
Oh, really?
This kind of like strange mixture of some like electrical elements or electric music elements in it, like synth and just weird sounds like that. Just kind of
the echoes.
That's all over the Alliance Alive, and I just think it's so good. Those chords, man.
That's so like unbelievably.
Holy
crap. What's the word? It's tantalizing.
It's unbelievably
just tantalizing.
Cool. It's awesome. I love it.
Blinded by the Light, two songs down. So this song.
Oh, sorry. I did Eidolons first.
You
sorry.
have Eidolons? Let's do it, man.
I picked so many.
Eidolons is a 4-hour
really
episode.
Cool. But Blinded by Light, we're going to talk a lot about. This is a bit more of like a battle-ish kind of theme.
I like the battle music for this.
It's great.
This is I'm starting to I'm learning about myself as we do this, right? Because I haven't played all of these games. I FF13 I've only played for a few hours before at the time. And you'd like live streams or things like that. Never actually by myself sitting down.
Oh, that's right. We did
We've done it twice. Like 7 years ago, we streamed FF13. I played the first couple hours, and then for the FF16, pre-release, we did that game for a little bit as well. But I think I prefer the battle music not written by Uematsu over
like
just
the
battle music.
Sakimoto or the others.
But I don't know why. I love the Black Mages. I love what Uematsu did with battle music in general. But I've never loved his battle music that much. He's so good with town music, world music, like character themes, Uematsu all the way. But the battle music, I just couldn't really get behind because it felt like a confused. It's trying to be rock, but also, trying to still be more classy than just like straight rock or whatever it is. And I like it, but not as much as I like what I've been hearing for the past several soundtracks that were not done by Uematsu, whose battle music I actually gravitate towards a lot easier, and it's way smoother for me. And I feel like I can actually listen to this, over and over on repeat.
I'm just trying to pick out what.
Well, the guitar is doing a lot of harmonics and really strange raking and.
What is all that? It's the textures he creates are really complex.
Yeah, textures.
Really complex, and there's a lot of thought put into them, and it's just you don't hear things like this a lot. It's very cool, and it's very distinctly, not only Hamauzu, but I think distinctly Final Fantasy 13 too in a lot of ways. I love that sailing guitar there.
That guitar in the background, yeah. It's actually, when I first listened to this, I kind of was like, maybe let's lose the guitar a little bit. I like it a lot, though. I like it. It adds to the complexity.
Now,
Blinded by the Light, dude.
this is
Wrapped up
probably
like a
the.
Sorry.
That would,
I had to do it.
So we just talked about this in a Q&A episode for Patreon, one of their exclusive episodes, where people are asking us, what's an element to your friendship that we don't see on the podcast? And we thought about it for a bit, and it's like, there's a lot of inside jokes and like weird, very bizarre kind of linguistic
I never do it,
peculiarities.
But since that was brought up last week,
you started doing it.
I did. I got out hot sauce today for my chicken lunch, and I called it hat sass. I was like, I could get some hat sass, and my wife didn't hear me. She didn't budge. She didn't flinch. She didn't say anything. But like, I was like, why did I do that? I haven't said hat sass in like 15 years.
We had the dumbest linguistic peculiarities in our friendship in terms of just saying things dumb and wrong on purpose.
And then trying to like riddle each other to like figure out what we're saying.
Yeah, like what are you actually even talking about? But what he just referenced was an inside joke kind of like that based on, I don't know the name of the artist who wrote Blinded by
It's a famous
light,
song from like
wrapped
79
up like
or
a
something.
deuce, another runner in the night. Anyway, we had our own lyrics to it that were funny. Now, Blinded by the Light in this context.
I'm sure you can all imagine.
This is probably the most contentious song I feel like on the whole soundtrack. You either love this or you hate this.
Yeah.
There's almost no in between.
Now, this is one of the few songs that I can remember quite well from when we were listening to this before the game came out.
Yes.
And I didn't know how to feel. I definitely was like, this is not Nobuo Uematsu. That's for sure. But I wasn't as experienced with like Final Fantasy X, for example.
Yeah, right.
Now, here's the thing. The first like 50 seconds of this song is FF10 Hamauzu doing something that could fit perfectly in FF10 until that violin shows up.
Until the violin comes in.
I'm like, this works. This is FF 10 battle music. Like I can get behind this. And then when the violin shows up, it's just kind of comes out of nowhere. And it was shocking at first, just the whatever little about Final Fantasy I knew at the time. This was like 15, 16 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But revisiting it now, I mean, it's got that Lindsey Sterling vibe a little bit. You know?
It does.
Like,
it totally does, actually.
I like it. You know,
it sounds a lot
this
like
type
Lindsey
of music
Sterling.
became more popular after him.
Yes.
Than maybe it was at the time.
That's a good point.
I remember like Yellow Card starting getting big around then as well. And
true.
like the putting a violin into some rock music kind of became not like symphony violin, but I mean like a solo violin.
Yeah, right.
It became, very, very fashionable. And I think mostly after this album, but I could be wrong. But it was all happening around the same time.
Yeah. I always liked it.
Yeah.
But
I remember that because I was like, I didn't love it, but you did.
It does feel
This is FF10 right here.
abrupt when it comes in. And I could see how that could maybe strike like nails on a chalkboard a little bit to some people.
And it's very simple. It's like
I just love that bass. Boom, boom. It's so full.
Do. And that bass with the drums, and that's what makes it feel. This is like a Black Mage intro.
Yeah.
Like this is straight up a Black Mage's intro from one of the early FF songs.
I will also note, and this is going to come up later too, that he has like this really, really heavily distorted guitar tone.
Oh yeah,
like,
way too much.
Like way over what like
way
any
too
rock
much.
band would use.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's used as this
It's
industrial kind of texture in it.
That's right.
And so it's kind of
It's like a burst of static. It's almost not even a guitar.
it's almost like you can't even hear the chord. It's just
Yeah.
But
and
it's
you can't
cool.
tell if it's palm muted or not. It's just like static burst.
And then here it comes, right here. It changes direction
It does.
in a way that feels so abrupt.
It's almost a different genre. It's almost a totally different. It's a totally different song.
Yeah. But I mean, Hamauzu did name this song as being one in which was like intentionally, again, meant to kind of like go against that grain of traditional Final Fantasy.
I think he did. When I mentioned the beginning sounds like it fits into FF10 and then it gets subverted in this very interesting way, I think he was thinking that too. I don't know. I'm reading his mind right now. I know that.
I think
but
so,
I
too.
think he was like, oh, yeah, you guys like this? This is all Final Fantasy X. Like, you like this? You like this? Boom!
Take
We're
this.
changing it. Take that. Take that. Here's the new Final Fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. It does have that feel, and so I get where people are coming from who don't really vibe with this.
Yeah.
But I always have. And particularly with this part, the Final Fantasy X-ish part you're saying, I just, this part, I think is so cool. Just feeling that build up. Again, he has these long builds up, and then he just flips your whole table underneath.
You think you're getting into a rock theme, and it turns into this.
But it does feel very appropriate for Final Fantasy 13, I think. Let's see. What's the next one I put here? Let's see. So that's Blinded by Light. Glory's Fanfare was my next one. That's the next track.
Oh, how about that?
Let's hear this one. Oh, that's just the
Oh, yeah,
the
this
fanfare.
is just the short. Yeah,
Again, completely getting away from what you used to.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Not here. This is the new fanfare. Totally different feel. And then after that, they have like the battle results screen, which is really interesting. Yeah, they don't have that. Just really different from anything you would normally expect from Final Fantasy. And then I have a brief respite after that. Oh, this is just kind of
just showing his range.
His range. This is like a happier, kind of calmer theme. We've gotten through some of the battles from the beginning of the story. The characters are kind of deciding what they want to do next. And they don't all agree at all. They kind of all go their separate directions. And
the 1080 snowboarder wants to do one thing.
Exactly.
Is his name Snow?
Snow is his name.
Yeah, straight up from 1080. I can't remember what the character's name was in 1080. But
forget.
I forget all those names.
Let's see. The next one I had was Crash Landing, I think, which has maybe a similar kind of feel to it. Oh, no, this is just a great example of a big orchestral piece. Oh, sorry, I skipped one. Escape. I won't go back to it. But this is some examples of his full orchestra arrangements.
I love this. This is what I liked more. And this is what he does more at the end of the soundtrack. This song was just a little too short, but yeah. This is Fantasia. This is straight up Fantasia.
Very complex.
From, what was that, 1950 or so? 1950s?
Very complex.
You know what? In fact, a lot of his orchestrations have a very Disney feel. And in particular, 1950s Disney.
I can see
Fantasia, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, that kind of stuff. I feel it because we were talking before about some people sound more like John Williams or Hans Zimmer or Howard Shore. He sounds like the 1950s Disney.
The actual classic Hollywood, not what I was calling classic Hollywood.
Yeah, you're talking like late classic. I'm talking about like mid classic. In my mind, that's a big compliment. Some of you guys may not love old Disney stuff. I don't know who you are if that's the case. Those are some of the best movies ever made. But in my world, that is a big compliment to sound like old Disney from the 50s, 40s.
So anytime you go to a Disney theme park, there's a certain musical texture that they use to create the magical feel of entering the park.
My wife has the soundtrack for the park.
Yes.
She got the Disneyland CD soundtrack.
Yeah.
So we listened to that, and you're right. It's got that feel.
That's kind of what it is. I've always loved that. It's kind of just impossible not to have a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Regardless of your feelings about especially modern Disney and decisions they've made and the power that they have and the what do you call it? Homogeny of
and all the buying up studios and
all that. Even with all that in mind, all that cynicism in my brain.
Old Disney was magical, man.
I walk into the park.
Yeah.
And that musical texture fills my brain. And it's just you feel happy now. You can't avoid it.
We're ready to wish upon a star and go.
Exactly. So
make your dreams come true.
That musical style or genre from that time period, I agree, is great.
Yeah.
My next one was Daddy's Got the Blues. Now, this is where you get hit real hard with a more jazzy feel. And this is all associated with the character Saz.
Okay.
So it's kind of like
the bird in his hair?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So a lot of these type of songs, this isn't so much jazzy, I guess it's more like old country
blues.
Bluesy.
Yeah, it's got sort of country a little.
I'm talking about old country, not modern pop country.
Yeah. I got that, yeah. This is more. So it's also Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I love that one of the songs in this, after this, fashion is called Afro blues.
Yes.
Because I believe there's a Cowboy Bebop song called Astro Blues or Asteroid Blues or something like that.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if they're making a direct Cowboy Bebop reference with that, because it sounds just like it. Now, that being said, there's only so much you can do with the harmonica. The instrument is made for the blues. You can't play anything else on it. But it just sounds like Cowboy Bebop to me.
It's great. And so a lot of the themes
then you get that guitar,
where he's kind of like the
Muddy
main
Waters
POV character will have music kind of in this vein.
Interesting.
So it's more associated to him as a character, but it's real different from anything we've heard so far. And it's a nice kind of shake-up. And that is something Uematsu would do a lot. He would play with genre a lot.
Yeah.
Like in different areas or whatever. So this is kind of cool that he does that too. Next one I got was Lightning's theme, and this we've heard this one a little bit, I think.
Well, this is basically that battle theme we were listening to, but an orchestrated version, which
like a softer version.
I have to say I like this one better.
I do too.
I like it better than
I do too.
the one that takes you by surprise, even though that one can be fun and useful sometimes.
Yeah. But again, it's his use of the piano and those sussed string chords just create these amazing textures. And I'm repeating myself way too much, so I'll stop using those words. But
well, dude, we still got like 3 hours to go.
I know. I gotta find some other words to describe it. Just really nice. I don't know how you can't not like this. Yeah, it's that same melody, but it's just really gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's really gorgeous.
And using Lightning's theme for that Blinded by the Light. Now, I haven't played the game, but is that just a general battle theme, or is that for specific
that's kind of like
moments?
just your normal.
So
battle
Lightning's
music.
theme is the battle theme, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
She's the combat expert. I think she belonged to the SciComm like police force. Before the game started, so she was like in the military. That's kind of like hunting them now. So anyway, that's a little Cloud Strife-like too. It once belonged to in the beginning of the story. He was part of Soldier. She was part of SciComm.
Okay.
So they kind of rely on her for battle tactics and whatnot. But she's got this softer side to her that it has to be drawn out.
Yeah.
Over the course of the game, because she's very rough on the outside and very closed off and doesn't really care, or doesn't appear to care, but does. Okay, then we got Saz's theme next. Again.
I like how different all the character themes are.
Yep.
We talked about this a little bit in Final Fantasy XI with the character creation thing, and depending on which race you pick, it's like wildly different music, very different. Each character here has very, very different music.
Yep. Very jazzy. I like the upright bass here.
Yeah, that's right.
Rather than an electric bass.
Yeah.
Sounds really nice.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's a smoother sound. It's a rounder sound with that bass. The next one, number 13 here.
Gabra Whitewood. I like this one.
Yes. Too. This one's really cool.
Yeah.
This is serene
straight,
and beautiful.
just atmospheric, right? Yeah. This is just pads and interesting little just phrasings.
Spa music.
Nothing that has like a distinct melody to it, and even some voicings in there that just create an overall atmosphere. And he has great use of melody, but like we talked about this in the FF10 soundtrack too. He does do a lot of stuff that just fills an atmosphere.
That's cool. The use of voice. Is this the one where you mentioned?
That's the Japanese singer who made up kind of like language. I think this might be the one.
She has such a good voice. I'm kind of sad that we won't get to hear her attempts at English. I'm sure it was wonderful. I'm sure it was beautiful. Yeah. Just maybe not exactly what the localization was looking for, but I love the use of vocals in songs like this where it's not the main feature.
Yes.
It's a supporting role, and not just like a choir, like a solo vocalist as a support to the atmosphere, right? It's an interesting concept, but I like it a lot.
This is just really cool, man.
Yeah.
It's unlike anything else. It's very, very much him. You don't hear anyone who's composed like him. But again, if you go play The Alliance Alive,
it's like this.
You'll hear a lot of stuff like this. It's just really cool. Next one I have after that was The Forever Fugitives, which is this one. Now, this has kind of a similar sound to some stuff we heard from the beginning of the game.
Sure.
But it's just one that's memorable to me. Like, I think I had this on one of my mixed CDs that I would listen to all the time and come up with, like, some ideas for my own story. But again, it builds up. It takes a while to get there, but, like, once it gets there, it's really big and really beautiful. It's coming.
Once again, we're hearing these themes again.
Yep.
I like this song a lot.
And then back to this. Just moves. And then totally different direction. But a light motif.
And see, what made him do that? What made him decide to do this? and what happens? Is this a cutscene? Is this just
I think this is during
general?
a cutscene. I'm pretty sure this is during a cutscene.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Otherwise, I'm just wondering.
This is moving with a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like an area theme or something like that.
Then I forgive him.
Let's see. But yeah, you're right. You're getting a lot of motifs in this that were used in other places.
Yeah.
The Sunleth Waterscape. That's the next track.
That's the very next track. Yeah.
Dude, I picked so many freaking tracks. I picked 50 out of like 90 tracks.
I picked this one too.
Yeah, this is again the same melody, Lightning's theme, but mixed in a different way.
Very different. It's almost a Dance Dance Revolution, like a techno remix of itself kind of thing. It's almost like he wrote the song
electronic
and then
version.
remixed it.
This feels a lot like
cool.
the Final Fantasy prelude of Final Fantasy X.
Oh,
remember how techno-y that
right.
was?
At Xanarkand. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's what this sounds
like.
And
I think
he composed it. I believe he
arranged it.
If it wasn't him, I at least don't think it was Uematsu. But
okay.
But then again, you're getting those themes kind of remixed into.
And this is the woman singing. This is the track 2, The Promise.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's mixing that soft, airy orchestral strings with that techno beat in a way that just perfectly complement each other. It just works. It's very cool.
And once again, I
believe that is the same singer.
It sounds like
she sounds like she's singing English though.
But they wouldn't let her be front and center singing English, right?
I wonder if it is her.
Just
if
in the background.
They got someone. I don't know who that is singing, but it sounds like her. Okay. To Hunt Lassie, a couple ones down from there. Just again the big chords. Oh, I love this part.
This is really cool.
I love this part.
Gosh, man, when I'm like in the moment listening to this stuff, and we're just kind of getting into it, and I'm feeling it, I am.
What are these chords?
It's really cool, but I'm dreading the near future when we have to rank these. Once we've listened to all of them, and then we have to rank our best FF soundtracks. Because when I first started listening to this, I was like, okay, 13 is going to be towards the bottom. I do not feel that way anymore. And now I'm getting nervous. Like, this is actually a really good soundtrack.
I love it.
And I might just have a recency bias when we do the rankings. I'll be like, hey, the newest one is first, the next newest one is second.
Oh, this part's great.
This is cool, man. And this is really good music. This is just really good. I like that rise. And I like, it naturally moved into this. This guy's good.
He's great.
He's really good.
He's really freaking good. Okay.
Oh, man.
I'm going to skip. Oh, so No Way to Live is another example of that really, really heavy distorted guitar.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I remember that.
So I'm just going to skip ahead to that part.
Oh my gosh, this is like
really heavily distorted.
The distortion is just like all the way up to 11.
I love that heavy percussion. Really powerful.
being a guitarist, I mean, or listening to music like this, you know when he's palm muting and when he's not. But I'm just saying,
You almost
it's
can't tell.
almost impossible to tell. You can tell, but it's like you almost can't tell.
Because it's
And
so
even when
heavily
he
distorted,
is
you can't tell.
not palm muting, he's just playing it briefly. He's cutting it short, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's a pretty signature tone
Really cool.
or guitar tone for
I had
this soundtrack.
Sarah's theme, by the way.
You hear it a lot in this soundtrack. I did have Sarah's theme too. It's good.
And she does sound very similar to the other Final Fantasy singers they've picked
that's
for
true.
8, 9, and 10, and 12.
Now this part coming up right here with these chords. So good. Let's see. Where am I? I'm lost in my list here.
I've got
Hope's theme. Hope's theme? Is that the next one?
my next one is like Fang's theme.
Hope's theme is next for me, so that's here. Kind of almost sounds like a nylon string guitar.
yeah, just a classical wide neck guitar. Yeah, it feels like nylon string.
Really nice. I think it's actually 2 guitars, but so you got the one guy playing accompaniment behind the melody. 2 guitars is what it sounds like to me. Which means we could play it if we ever play this game.
One day
we could team
we
up.
could do it.
We'd play it on our steel string guitars though.
Oh, you
like
guys
this
have
part a
never
lot.
heard.
Very hummable. Very hummable melody. Like it a lot.
This might be the closest to town music that this soundtrack gets.
Pretty much. Atonement was next on mine. This is at a part of the game I won't spoil, but this is when the way they kind of structured the story here was strangers who belong together but don't kind of realize it yet.
Okay.
Was kind of like their thought behind it.
Interesting.
So they're kind of forced together. They don't agree. They don't really. They're not really a strong team yet. They all kind of go separate ways, and then there's a point where they're kind of brought back, and like the full team is formed, and there's a little bit of reconciliation between some of the key characters in particular. This is one of the songs that plays during one of those moments of reconciliation, and it's actually one of the more touching moments of the story. It's actually one of the parts of the story I like the best.
Oh, really?
Was this particular reconciliation moment. So that's what this song is playing during that moment. I think it's really great. Vanille's theme comes right after that. Another piano piece, solo piano piece, which I just think he's great at. But we've already heard quite a few of these, so
We have well established this fact.
you don't necessarily need to hang on it, but I can't help it.
Let's
I hear
hang.
a little Joe
Let's hang.
Hisaishi there. It's just good. Let's see.
This is cool.
Nautilus.
Nautilus, I have
that
Nautilus
one.
on my list. Yeah.
This is just big orchestra again.
Yeah.
Really big orchestra. I could hear this in a like Harry Potter movie. or
Oh,
something.
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, they have those
That-
parts where they have a festival or they're all coming to the hall or whatever.
Yeah, the Great Hall, or
and it's like the
whatever they call
exciting
it.
part of coming back to school or whatever. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Very much
Just
has
very
that feel
fun.
to it.
It's just fun.
My next one is Feast of Betrayal.
That's it right there.
Another really big orchestra part, but for a more dangerous section. So it's like, I won't describe what's happening in the story here, but
Feast of
they
Betrayal.
thought they were
Use
getting
your
a moment.
imagination.
They thought they were getting a moment to kind of relax
Yeah.
or try something maybe a little risky, but like
Like a
we've
feast.
been through a lot, and like
They get
we're
betrayed.
gonna give it. We're gonna we're gonna give ourselves a moment, and then like this happens, and
Boom. Darn it.
it's like crap. We got to get out of here.
The bird flew out of the dude's hair and screwed everything up.
Eidolons on Parade. This is another good one. I really love the ending of this, so I'm going to skip to the end because it's another one that takes a really long time to build.
Yeah.
But right around here, it's going to build up again. Yeah, I think it's here. These big chords.
I really like this.
Great stuff.
Oh, man. That was good.
Yeah,
that was a treat.
Okay, and then I've got... Oh, here it is. Hold on. Can't stop yet.
We linger yet longer. This is very
Gosh,
cool.
the chords are
This
so
is very
huge.
Cool. Yeah. It's so wide between the bass and the high. You just have this full feel. It just feels so full.
It's huge. So great.
I love that.
Test
this is really
of the
cool.
Lassie, which is the next one.
The Lassie. I remember you explaining to me the Lassie and the
Lassie and Falsi
yeah,
are.
and like being very intrigued. Like the world of this game is very intriguing. Very cool.
I really like the mythos of
Yeah.
the Fabula Nova Crystallis. I think it had tons of potential.
Yeah.
It's the same way I feel about Final Fantasy 15 because so many of the remnants of it kind of remain there, but are subdued or just not explored as well. This is just a really interesting boss battle, I think, is what it is. It's cool, man.
I love it, man. This is fun.
You can't help but move to that.
This is good.
Go watch my video called Why Music Moves Us.
Yeah.
This music just moved us.
Once again, that static guitar.
Yeah, it's so heavy.
It's unbelievably distorted.
Whoa. In the background there, yeah. Some really interesting boss themes.
Interesting. It's just interesting, fascinating music.
I did the Game Over because it's just like, I've never heard Game Over music like this. It's so different.
Oh, then we got to do Fighting Fate.
It's just like, whoa. It's almost like...
This is Game Over?
This is the Game Over thing.
Wow. It's like something really big is overshadowing you.
It almost feels like 2001.
Yeah.
Like just like this huge...
Like the obelisk has appeared.
Yeah, it's like kind of like that moment of death.
They call it the black...
Like that emptiness, the void.
Yes, it feels like you're staring into the eye of the universe.
Yes. A little.
Yeah, just like something's coming. I don't know what, but something.
Such a cool pad or drone that was there.
Gosh.
And it's so soft. Man, I've never heard anything like this as a Game Over screen in like anything.
In my 20 years on the force.
My 20 years on a force.
I ain't seen nothing like it.
It's just really cool, man. I just really like it.
Fighting Fate. We got to hit Fighting Fate. It's number 17 on this one. Yeah.
Another big orchestra piece.
This song is dope.
Yeah, this is a cutscene. I remember this part.
No, yeah. This is really good. He's not like missing anything. He's not missing any opportunities to do something interesting.
And then there's that chorus. I think this is a boss theme as well, if I remember correctly.
I can get behind it. I like it a lot. I just put wow after this one. Wow. This song really kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. I would rank this above Final Fantasy XII soundtrack.
Above
like what
12.
we heard last week, and we talked about it. We loved it.
It's so good.
I think I'm into this more. I think I like it more overall.
I believe this music accomplishes more.
It's not as one note, and that's not to say Final Fantasy XII is one note, but there's a lot of sameness in certain places.
Yeah,
that's I think where people were talking about the filler that I didn't particularly agree with that way of putting it. But this is just, man.
Every song here is so incredibly unique.
Really, really well done. I have Separate Paths after that.
And then Desperate Struggle.
Yep, after that too. Oh, this one's just beautiful. We've already heard some things kind of like this.
So cool.
I won't hang on this for a long time.
This is Disney. But
it's really good.
Just wonderful.
And then it was Desperate.
Yeah.
Desperate Struggle. Oh, this one's great. I immediately this takes me back again to my car driving to work.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Over and over and over again for like a month before the game came out. Really cool percussion. Those little, I don't know if those are shakers or just like a brush on a cymbal.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Probably not a shaker, probably a brush on a cymbal, but it takes a while to build, but it builds. Oh, wait. That sounds very FF10
so
to me.
Fun. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I feel like there's an FF10 boss theme that has that kind of rhythm. Strings are doing a lot of really complex stuff.
That high percussion there.
It just opens up again. Really cool chords.
The strings are just everywhere. They're all over the place, but it's not as chaotic.
I think not dominating.
I was feeling maybe that it was more chaotic when I first listened to this. Upon listening to it again, this is my third time now just listening to the whole thing with you. I don't feel that way at all. Like this is very methodically placed. Like this is very well planned out, and this is very masterfully done.
And then we have Mysteries Abound. I liked this one quite a bit. This one's just kind of a softer, more ethereal feel, with the kind of voicing behind it, the choir. And then you get this nice melody that comes in with the flute.
Ah, this is nice.
Really beautiful. He does this type of song really well.
Yeah.
On that low.
Yeah. Just kind of fills the space.
Really nice. Will to Fight, did I do that?
I had Fang's theme as my
I think I did too. I think I skipped that one, just Fang's theme.
Yeah, Fang's theme just mostly to show the variety of all the character themes.
Yeah. This one's really fun. Fang's personality, I mean, when you play the game, a lot of characters are really sad. And they're going through something pretty horrible. And Fang's just there to be like, snap out of it. Let's go.
Let's go have an adventure.
Put yourself together. Figure it out. Let's get a move on, you know.
Yeah.
This part right here. And we've heard that.
Warpath.
We've heard that melody before. The little trills there. Really fun.
See, in addition to being beautiful, this music is just really fun to listen to as well.
Yeah, it's great. And here comes this one you've heard.
That rise.
Ba, ba, ba. This is Blinded by Light. Ba, 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 ba. Nice. Lightning's theme, right?
Yeah.
Super good. So they used Lightning's theme in Fang's theme.
How about that? Interesting.
Let's see. After her, I have Terra Incognita. That's the next song. We're coming to the end of my list. We're not going to go too much longer.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we just keep repeating. It's just his use of those really wide chords. It's just really beautiful. And then that cello, I think.
That solo, yeah.
It's excellent. We have no more words to describe. We've used them all. We're just repeating them. Excellent. Amazing. Fantastic. Oh, this is great. Dynamics. See the use of dynamics there?
Yeah.
Brought it back in. We can appreciate the big when it's contrasted with the small.
And not just
Not just big all
present.
the time. You need those dynamics.
Yeah.
And then it's going to get big again. If I were to use one word to describe this soundtrack in comparison to other Final Fantasies, I would say I'd just use the word gorgeous. Like,
Gorgeous.
there's something about it, just this really rich, beautiful softness in it that it makes it unique in that kind of pantheon. And it's all over the place. It's gorgeous. The game's visually gorgeous. The game's soundtrack is gorgeous.
Yeah. This is really cool.
Fantastic.
I mean, like, you can criticize them for using Going West a little too much in the music. I'm sorry. If it achieves that, then it was the right choice. I don't know what else to tell you. This is some of the most beautiful stuff I've ever heard.
Okay, so Chocobos of Pulse.
Yeah,
we got our Chocobo theme here. It's a nice rendition.
It's not exactly the Chocobo theme, but he does his own fun stuff with it.
Can't help but move to this one too.
Yeah. It's like a boogie, the Chocobo boogie.
You need that Final Fantasy V version where he's like, oh! He'll come in with that.
That's right. I remember that.
They need that in this.
Oh!
Hey! Whoa! Yeah, that kind of thing. There it is.
And this reminds me of the, like the new Mario.
Yes.
Mario Odyssey.
It does sound like Odyssey a little bit.
This feels just like Mario Odyssey.
Would that be kind of a saxophone and like a...
Yeah, sax, a little jazzy. Yeah.
There you go, your brass coming in. Your trombones and trumpets. Really
This is
fun
so
version.
much fun. This is so much fun.
My next one was Solia Springs. It's more of that. I picked all the songs with these really cool sus chords.
Good.
But this one has
Just
a
to
very
illustrate the
atmospheric
point.
pad to it. Those chords are just so cool. All right, Dust to Dust.
Dust to Dust I had on my list as well.
More of that again.
Yep.
And it takes a while to kind of build in, but skip ahead a little bit. Here we go. There it is.
This is cool.
Again, using the voice
So big.
as a supplement
Yeah.
rather than like taking over or dominating.
This is really cool. She has a great voice.
There it is again. That's the Lightning's theme, slow.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, this is so cool.
Yep. Super, super good. Let's see, that was Dust to Dust. My next one was Start Your Engines. I believe this is a cutscene.
Hey, this guitar isn't overly distorted too
Not
much.
all the way, not dialed to 11 distortion.
Not quite.
See, he's doing the same thing as he does with piano. He has like one thing, dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
and
dun,
he
dun,
just
as a
kinda
rhythm.
lets it.
He's doing that with the
Yeah.
guitar this time, but it's the same kind of like serves the same purpose.
Yeah.
All right, it's going to build up like he likes to do into this. There we go. I think there's another battle theme somewhere. Okay, and then this one is really interesting. This one's like dissident. The cradle will fall. There's a specific area theme that that is really out there right towards the end of the game. And this is dissident all over on purpose.
Really?
It's hard to call it music almost.
Yeah, I remember this. Random, chaotic.
It's very chaotic, but purposeful, right? For where you are and how crazy it is.
It's like taking the concept of freeform jazz, but applying it to just like sounds, like just things, just not even. Okay,
getting a little bit of a rhythm there.
Ah.
It sounds almost a little like Terra in Final Fantasy IX. They had some stuff that was kind of like this, not quite as eerie and chaotic as this, but it was, a little odd, something that doesn't feel quite right. Alien. It feels a little bit alien, So this one's really, really interesting. Now we start getting into the end stuff that you were looking for.
Yes. Ooh. And
sorry, I have stopped.
Stop you dead in your tracks.
There's that Hamauzu I know with those chords. Love that.
How interesting, because it's not a drum necessarily. It's a interesting sound.
Whatever that sound is.
Being made to feel like a drum. It almost sounds like a heartbeat. It almost feels like a heartbeat.
I have Born Anew.
Okay.
Next. This is all endgame stuff, so we're getting into the final boss, which I believe this is the final boss theme. And from the name,
that's so interesting.
The name Born Anew being a final boss, that might be some symbolism that you could chew on a little bit when we get to this.
Oh, I'm excited to play this game.
Big choir.
This is cool. I'm trying to think of what this reminds me of, but this is pretty unique.
Yeah, it's cool. Very dissonant.
Yeah.
Chorus there.
Oh, that chord. it almost itches my ears. Like I almost want to stop it.
You're like, that's flat. Yeah. But it's not flat because the root and the top, the third of the triad are harmonizing.
Yeah.
It's the second of the triad that is way off.
The middle.
Yeah. Really cool.
Big sound right there.
And then we get Fabula Nova Crystallis.
Yes, this one. So Fabula Nova Crystallis is the beginning of every song after this has a similar feel. Hamauzu ditches the guitar. The guitars are done. The drums are gone. The techno is done. He is straight orchestra symphony from this point on.
Yeah.
And I needed this to reset me, or to
help you get.
To help me get it.
Come together.
But also, he needed to do something that I already liked before I was willing to follow him into his experimental, interesting other things he was doing.
Yeah.
And this is my music. Like, this is what I love right here.
Yeah.
This is wonderful, wonderful stuff.
This is all building into the game's ending, which from the first time playing it, though I was one of many who didn't necessarily love the game at release, I really liked the ending. Like the ending left me off on like a nice feeling to where like I actually went and just replayed the game back to back because like, oh, that was really cool. Let me go try that again. Let me go through that again and see what I feel. I think the ending is quite nice to Final Fantasy XIII, which is why I regret that there are 2 sequels. I think it ended on this really nice note. Now, that being said, I haven't played Final Fantasy XIII 2 or Lightning Returns.
I haven't played either.
I probably will when we end up getting to talking about this game on the podcast. Just so I have that. Yeah, this part's great.
It's simple. Like, this isn't complex. This just reaches out to touch your soul.
Yeah.
In an interesting manner that it also feels like a resolution of sorts, you know.
Because this is
one that's pending.
The
like
promise.
You've made up your choice. You just have to go do it now. I don't know. This is really
the promise, which is that what's played at the beginning of the game.
You're right, yeah.
It's that, but it's resolving what was promised there. And then so you're bringing so many of the game's themes now into this as we're resolving the story. The story's coming to an end.
Yeah, and this is the promise right here. And then we got to move to Miracles, because this was the next one that it continues like in a different manner, but in the same style, I suppose.
This is, okay, I'm trying not to say stuff that will spoil the game story. That was like the beginning of the ending, where it's like, we're not quite sure what happened yet. And this is more like, okay, the resolved, like, beauty of the ending.
I feel that.
Good.
I feel that.
Yeah, particularly this part I like a lot.
Yeah, this is really cool.
It's like you did it. Like, your mission is complete. Like, good job. You know? You came through a lot, but you made it.
Yeah, I always like that. That end part right there, the physical chrono trigger-y.
It does. You're right. Yeah. I agree with that.
This is good stuff. This is just good stuff.
It's great.
Let's move on. I don't want to go to focus.
Yeah,
I want to go to the next one after it.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
I think. Okay, yeah, I remember this one.
So he just has like a bassoon, like just playing an interesting phrase, a trombone, just kind of, dipping. Yeah. It's like there's a backbone happening, and everything's just kind of moving around it right now in all the different.
Those trills, those really fast.
See,
trills.
now I hear this, and I'm like, that was all building up to something.
Yep.
And it sounds chaotic and crazy. It still does, but way more purposefully so than I gave it credit for initially.
Yeah, the piano.
It's like, now it's your turn, Bob McJohnson on the piano. Take it away, Bob. All right, everyone, that was Bob. Everyone stands up and claps.
It's like, okay, strings, get ready to pass to our trumpets.
And then
you get ready to pass.
Determination. Yeah. See, this song is just endlessly interesting.
Yeah. Okay, determination.
And this song is when I wrote on my notes. I wrote, okay, now I'm getting the feeling. This is amazing music. Now I'm getting more of the type of music that I really love. And of course, it's a slow developing song once again.
As all of them.
Yeah.
There we go. Boom. It hits you like Joe Hisaishi hits you.
Yes.
That's what it feels like.
In such a beautiful way. And once again, we're getting more thematic stuff just thrown right back at us. But once again, this is like the 10th time he's remixed that song in the soundtrack. And it takes a bit to notice, oh, okay, this is the theme now. He's doing it in a different way each time. It's just really, really cool. And I really like the theme now, by the way.
I do too. I like it a lot. Bringing that one back.
And showing us the triumph through sadness kind of thing. That's just what this whole song is kind of delivering.
Note is what I like best in these types of soundtracks, the triumph or the hope through the despair or sadness. But you're getting both of those sounds together. They're like mixing in a really beautiful way.
It's almost like when you fight a war, no one wins.
Yes.
But there's still hope for the future. Yeah, that's something.
That's exactly what it feels like.
And then after this song, we're coming on to the last two, which is Kimi ga Irukara. It's because you're here. Because
Kimi ga
Irukara.
This one's great. I'm so mad they didn't just use this.
I know, because they've done
English
it.
version.
Like Sudeki Dane in FF10, they left it Japanese, right?
Why can't you just do that here? Why do you have to go
and
get
FF10
Leona
sold
Lewis
1 billion
song?
like copies, so why would they think, oh, it didn't work in that game? No, of course it worked in that game, and it would work here too.
If you want to license a song for like a trailer, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, whatever.
But don't put it in your credits. Put this in the credits. That's what I'm about. Especially for your Japanese RPG. Here she comes right now. It actually sounds a little
Korean drama.
Korean drama-ish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's another
I
reason.
listened to this with my wife, and I was like, what does this remind you of? And she was like,
100%.
Like Korean dramas, straight up.
100%
But I tell you what, Korean dramas have great
I love
music.
Korean dramas.
Yeah.
What was the one that we all watched, the first one we got into?
It was Secret Garden.
Secret Garden.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Secret Garden.
Me too. Yeah, this is, what's her name? Kilraim?
Yes.
And she's
People,
singing. Yep.
I'm telling you right now, you gotta watch Secret Garden. Secret Garden's like one of the best romantic dramas ever freaking made.
Ever made.
It's fantastic. Super low budget and real rough around the edges. Might take like a couple episodes to feel it, but like once you feel it, it's like the funnest thing to watch ever.
It is so much fun. And just to predict when that theme is gonna hit.
Yeah.
You know, every song, there's a moment when that theme hits, and everyone's dancing.
The cool thing about Secret Garden is that it has as a character like a Korean pop artist.
Yeah, Hyunbin.
His
Hyunbin
music
is incredibly famous, and then he's an actor in some of the biggest dramas. He's an actor in, and so he's super.
Well, I mean,
famous.
like the character in the story, his brother or whatever.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about Hyunbin. You're talking about Oska.
Him too, but Oska.
Yeah, Oska's wonderful. Oska, unfortunately, he didn't have a successful acting career,
Too bad.
which is really sad. But I loved Oska. He was my favorite character.
Oska's fantastic.
He made that whole game, or that whole movie show.
Yeah. Get a very like soft rock ballad feel to this part.
Yeah.
I'm into it. I know some people aren't being into it.
I like stuff like this. Mostly just the Japanese. I like Japanese.
Yeah.
I like this feel to it. If this were an English singer, I maybe wouldn't love it as much. I'd probably prefer the Japanese version better.
Yep.
You don't know. When you can't hear the lyrics, you're just kind of imagining that it's really deep. And sometimes in English,
I have no idea what you're saying, but I feel it.
Exactly.
That's music acting as the universal language a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's saying, but I kind of do.
Yeah.
Because I can just feel what she's saying. Right. It's great.
The form fits the function. Yeah.
Yep. Good stuff.
All right, and then ending credits. This is the one. About a minute in, I just was like feeling it. Like this song really hit me. Just listening to it, I was like, wow. And it was at this point that I decided I really have to play this game.
Yeah.
Like I really have to.
We'll because we've had Final Fantasy XII in the rotation for voting on Patreon.
Yeah, it keeps losing.
It keeps losing. So it lost to Expedition 33 and Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah, Chronicles.
So on the next vote, right, I will put Xenoblade Chronicles again. It's going to win, but I'll put it up there. And Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah.
But I'll start working Final Fantasy 13 into that rotation.
Okay.
With probably Chrono Trigger or something else that I would really like to play again right now.
That's a formidable list right there.
For those of you who are like, holy crap, you haven't done Final Fantasy 7. You did Final Fantasy 6, 8, 9, 10, and why not?
It's almost like we missed 7 on purpose.
It's almost like we did on purpose. When that comes up, when we're planning to do it, it's going to kind of be the year of Final Fantasy 7.
We will basically do that.
So if you've been wishing for Final Fantasy 7, be careful what you wish for.
You're going to get a whole
lot. You might get a little
of
more than you want.
Yeah.
So just don't.
Year of 7. You know what would be a great year to do Year of 7 is 2027.
I know.
There's a 7.
That's the 30th anniversary.
Oh, you're right, because it released on 97.
The 30th anniversary.
Yeah, that'll be the 30th.
Of Final Fantasy 7. And I believe
that's when the final part.
The Rebirth, or not Rebirth, whatever part 3 is going to come out.
Resurrection? Matrix 3, what did they call it? Reloaded?
I don't know if you've seen the Gact
Revolution.
is the rock artist who did like a lot of the music on Dirge Cerberus.
I do remember this. And
Crisis Core.
Yeah. Oh, they designed Loveless. What's his name?
Yes.
A character.
Not Angeal, the other guy.
I can't remember his name.
Fetching, don't remember his name either. Doesn't
Other
matter.
guy.
That
To be
guy.
like, yeah.
So he has a song called Redemption.
Okay.
And so it's Final Fantasy VII
there you
Redemption.
go. I wonder if they'll do it.
That's what I'm thinking. Redemption. His like crazy falsetto.
I really like it though. I
Not
really
falsetto.
like it.
What do you call that?
Vibrato.
Vibrato. That's what I'm thinking of. Anyway, we're talking about Final Fantasy 13 right now.
Oh yes, Final Fantasy 13. This is an incredibly good. I loved. Every Final Fantasy has the ending credits is the place you go to experience the medley of what the game has to offer in the most beautiful form. And yeah, this one does not disappoint. It's always some of the most beautiful music. But I really found it interesting that the last 7 tracks or so were less experimental, less crazy. They're still there, of course. Less electronic, less guitar, less drums, and more just straight, 1950s Disney orchestra that just hits me right in the feels. And I found that very interesting that that's the way they chose to do it. And then when I go back and listen to it, I'm thinking of this as I'm hearing everything else and knowing what it's promising, what it's building up to.
It's great.
Those French horns.
Super good. So
Once
everybody,
again,
that is our
it's beautiful
listen of the Final Fantasy 13 soundtrack. I really like it.
Me too.
I always have. It's up there as one of my
special.
favorites in the series, even though it's not an Uematsu soundtrack. I think it's great. And I really have come to appreciate Hamauzu as a composer. I think he's phenomenal. He did World of Final Fantasy as well.
I remember
That has a really great soundtrack.
That was fun, yeah. What's he doing more recently, I wonder?
I need to look at his
Masahi
discography.
or Masashi?
Masashi Hamauzu. I don't know what he's done recently. I think he did Final Fantasy VII Remake, though. I believe he was on that team.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So I think he's working on those FF7 Remake.
Here it is. Yep, Rebirth, Wild Hearts.
Yeah,
he did Wild Hearts.
That's right.
FF14 Shadowbringers.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize he did
Alliance
FF14
Alive.
stuff.
Well,
Alliance Alive is great.
It looks like he maybe only did 1 or 2 songs.
Yeah.
But it's still very cool. Sin Chronicle and Ember Storia.
But I mean, he goes
Very
all the way
cool.
back at Square to Front Mission Gun Hazard and
Oh, wow.
Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon and Saga Frontier 2. He's done a lot of stuff at
Before
Square.
FF10.
Unlimited Saga.
Musashi Samurai Legend. I remember. Yeah. Those are fun.
It's just a lot. He Final Fantasy IV, the complete collection.
Oh, cool.
Half Minute Hero. I didn't realize he did.
No
the second
way.
one.
Very
The
nice.
Second
I love
Coming,
that game.
The second game. Then of course the 13 trilogy.
He did 10 and 10 too.
He did some arrangements on Super Smash Brothers for 3DS and Wii U.
Well, that's very interesting. You know that Nobuo Uematsu wrote the main theme for Smash Brawl. Yeah. So Hamauzu did some arrangements for the Wii U. That's very
The
interesting.
Legend of Legacy. That's kind of a lesser known title, but that was the precursor to the Alliance Alive. The Alliance Alive, I think, is great. Then there's World of Final Fantasy, and Wild Hearts, and the Rebirth, and
Very cool.
Remake. So I'm sure he'll be on the third Final Fantasy 7
He's probably working on it right now as we speak.
as we speak. I think he's great.
Yeah,
Personally.
me too. I've had to acquire the taste. But once
it's been acquired.
once I saw how well he does the music that I already like and can judge better, and really sold me on how talented he is, I was able to start seeing it everywhere. Yeah. And this is a talented human right there. That guy's incredible.
Taste acquired.
Taste acquired. Level up. I leveled up.
Thanks everybody for watching this. Like I said, we're going to do Final Fantasy 14 1.0, the Nobuo Uematsu soundtrack first. Then we'll get into the Soken, the modern, what's available now to play Final Fantasy 14 after that. And then we're almost at the end. I mean, we'll have Final Fantasy 15 and 16 after that, and then we've
And
gone
then
all
we
the
have
way
to
through.
rank them all. Or
And
we
then-
can hit Crisis Core and Tactics,
Yeah.
and we can,
If people like it enough, I'd be down with that. But the last couple of them haven't done as well.
what
as
would
the
be
earlier
interesting?
ones.
I don't know if this is recommended or not, but to do the FF7 remake soundtrack only without
playing the game.
Yeah, just to kind of listen to all the music. And
That'd be interesting.
I don't know if that's good. Tell us or not whether that's a great idea or a horrible idea. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have a lot to say about that when we end up doing those games.
Yeah.
When I was talking about the year of Final Fantasy VII, our plans for that are whenever Part 3 is getting ready to come out, when there's like a release date for that.
And what if it gets delayed?
Who knows? But I feel like they've got a pretty good handle on it now. I mean,
This second one went so smoothly.
Yeah.
I know the first one it was
in a bit of a development hell.
but yeah, the second one went very smooth.
I imagine, and
So-
as far as interviews go, they say it's progressing very smoothly.
Good.
Anyway, I imagine that'll probably come out in 2027, and whenever that's announced, what we'll do is the OG, and then we'll move straight into like the compilation stuff after that.
Yeah, before Crisis.
Yeah.
Is there
and
any
Crisis
way to play
Core,
before Crisis? It's a Nokia N
Maybe not.
Yeah.
It might be one of those
Like, we did with- yeah,
Xenosaga, Pied
Xenosaga.
Piper situations. Though there is somebody who I'm not remembering his handle on Twitter right now, who is essentially compiling like a playable version of Pied Piper and has gotten pretty
cool.
far at this point. So
nice.
go check that out. I'll try to leave a link in the description or something. Anyway, it might be one of those situations where it's not necessarily playable in its original form anymore. But I know they've remixed pieces of it into that Ever Crisis mobile game they have going on right now. Anyway,
I'm not aware of that.
so we may not play that, but at least review it on YouTube. And then Crisis Core, Dirge of Cerberus, Advent Children,
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. Advent Children will be fun.
and then the Final Fantasy VII remake and Rebirth and Part 3, leading up to Part 3, the release of Part
Goodness,
3.
this whole might take 2 years.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't necessarily love comp material, I feel you. I know what you're talking about. We will have that additional episode every week that's like not Final Fantasy
that's right.
related. So like you'll still have stuff to watch during the year of Final Fantasy VII. Anyway, that's future plans. We'll see how it goes. But thanks for watching. Appreciate everybody. We'll see you next week.